The first time Syracuse fans have been able to watch their squad at home this season. First of 2 games here today for Syracuse, first of the year, after 25 games on the road. But the weather has warmed up and allowed for the fans to pull out the shorts and come watch some softball here in Syracuse, a doubleheader against Niagara. But the Syracuse offense unable to get anything going once again, leaving a runner stranded, and Jackie Pengel back in the circle after 42 pitches through 2 innings. Getting out of a jam last inning with the bottom of the order, C.J. Haney at the plate, showing butt, pulling it back. Nonetheless, a called strike to lead off the third.
First of all, seeing short sleeves and shorts
it's a good feeling.
In Syracuse in March, it's a rarity right there. I can't remember a more beautiful opening day, or home opener, I should say, for Syracuse softball. Usually, even when they start playing home games at the end of March, it's still iffy weather. Now, this weekend could be a little bit of that, but let's enjoy today while we have it, Nico.
Also windy today with the ball pushing out towards left field. Haven't seen anyone get a hold of one yet. Even a fly ball to left. 0-2 misses on C.J. Haney. Bottom of the order for Niagara. As you can see, those gusts 20 miles an hour. We've seen stronger today as well. Pengel's 1-2 misses way upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this pitching staff has been super important for Syracuse this season. 2.08 ERA on the year. As you can see, the trees moving there in the outfield. The 2-2 is down low in the dirt. Skips into the stomach of Taylor Davison. That ERA, second in the ACC behind Florida State. And Madison Knight not getting the start today, saving that arm for Clemson this weekend. But Pengel's had a bit of a shaky start so far. No runs. Right as I say that, strikes out C.J. Haney, the bottom of the order. But she's been missing her spot just a little bit here and there, but getting out of jams when needed.
She has. It's still been inconsistent from Pengel, but I will say this, Nico, she has responded to adversity well. She hasn't really been rattled or phased when going down in the count or putting runners on base, as was the case last inning. So that's a good sign if you're Shannon Depking, because she would prefer, I can guarantee you, that Pengel goes deep into this game, maybe even the distance, considering she wants Knight and Verney to both be rested heading into this weekend series.
Pengel misses down low, 1 ball and 1 strike on Haley Sinami, back to the top of the order for Niagara. She grounded out to third to lead off this game. Little check swing foul right at the plate. It's 1-2. And of course, the biggest question heading into the year for Syracuse was that pitching staff. Losing Lindsey Hendricks last year, a 2.20 ERA. Jesse DePasquale, 1-2 misses just outside. A good offering from Pengel. 2-2 the count. Lost 3 of its 5 starting pitchers, and the question was going to be finding some stability so far this year besides someone like Madison Knight. And it's been Pengel doing it, but Juliana Verney has really stepped up as well for Syracuse.
I mean, between Verney and Knight heading into today, Nico, those two have combined to pitch 130 out of the 165 innings this team has played. You might say, well, that's a little too much of an over-reliance on them, but talking to Coach Depking, she seemed quite content with how the pitching staff has been doing as a whole.
Sinami rips it down the left field line, but it's foul by a couple of feet. Count remains at 2-2. And they've been doing it all. They've also held opponents to a .213 batting average. But this is a doubleheader where you're facing, let's put it straight, not the best team in town in Niagara, but a good opportunity to work on some things and get some other pitchers involved. And Jackie Pengel is one of those in the circle that's looking to find some groove and add some stability to the Syracuse pitching staff instead of just having them rely on Verney and Madison Knight game in and game out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can't rely on those two throughout the entire season. So this is meaningful experience for Pengel. And Depking also admitted that you can expect to see more of the pitching staff get involved starting really now. Even as these ACC series pick up, it's their opportunity to ramp up because, again, Knight and Verney can't pitch unlimited innings.
2-2 on a long at-bat is hit right back at Pengel, and she'll pick it up and throw to first for the second out here in the third. A long at-bat from Haley Tsunami trying to continue a 5-game hit streak, but she'll have to hold off and try and extend that in the next at-bat. Gets it off the end of the bat, but Pengel does a nice job to stick with it.
You gotta love just the smile on the face of Pengel. Between every pitch, she's just having fun out there. Nerves, not so much for Pengel so far. She has really settled in, is playing with that swagger to her. You see right there, she just has confidence, even though it's been a little inconsistent in terms of finding that zone. She's getting the job done, Nico, and having fun while doing it.
Called strike before Davidson could squeeze it. It's 1-1. And you're right, the smiles out there for Pengel in the circle, and a lot of fans returning to the stadium in the first home game for Syracuse. Pengel was actually a two-way player in her freshman year in those 20 games, and then was injured all of last season, finally having a crack at the rotation here this year as she misses up and away. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think that's a big part of it. You know, you go from being an effective two-way player freshman year to having to step away from the game for a season. So to be back on, on the field and in the circle primarily as a pitcher this season, and an important one in this rotation of pitchers that Syracuse has, it's got to feel great for her to be back out there and making an impact for this team after everything she's been through.
From Hartford, Connecticut, Jackie Pengel, 4 Ks so far. Rather, 3 strikeouts so far, trying to make it a 4th on a 2-2. Coming up to Lindsay Mayo. Mayo struck out back in the first.
I did. He told me no.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a violation.
So there you go. That's the first violation we've seen here in this game. Full count pitch, swung and lifted back up the middle, and that gets through the infield for the base knock for Lindsay Mayo. And the third's not over yet, a 2-out single for Mayo, and that brings up Natasha Limbani.
That was quite the sequence because it was a 2-2 count heading into that pitch, and then the violation due to the time running out on that pitch clock we mentioned is an automatic ball. 3-2 it became, and Limbani attacked that pitch quite well, and that's the best contact we've seen so far. It's been a lot of soft contact into the infield, Nico, but for Mayo, I should say, to get a hold of that one out to left center, it's a big confidence boost for the top of this lineup.
The first hit of the afternoon for the Purple Eagles, and they have 2 now in the span of a couple of pitches. Mayo stays at second, and Natasha Limbani squeezes one through. There's runners on first and second for Niagara with 2 down in the third.
And all of a sudden, the pressure's on. Last plate appearance was an extended one, but this time Limbani says, hey, my teammate Mayo just got on base with some solid contact to the left side. Let me go to the right side, opposite field, and attack Pengel early. And that's well done into the gap.
2 runners on. Pengel misses up and away. 1-0 on Shayna Mishroll. Not exactly the player you want up in this situation. Hit a home run here in 2022. A great day to hit a home run here on this windy Thursday. Leads the team with 7 home runs so far this year. A big right-handed power bat for Shayna Mishroll, who's actually from this area and went to Jamesville DeWitt High School just down the road here in Syracuse.
That's another cool aspect of this non-conference matchup, where you've got 2 Division I programs just 2 hours apart. Of course, Niagara right down the road in Western New York, and you have a lot of local players on this Purple Eagle squad. Maybe not so much for Syracuse, but for this Niagara team, you got a couple of players from Syracuse, and Mishroll, an example of that, playing her high school ball just 15 miles down the road from Skytop.
Feels like a potential home game for her as well. 2-1. The count from Pengel to Mishroll. 2 late singles here with 2 outs. Syracuse again trying to get out of a jam. A swing and a miss. Upstairs. Pengel, that upstairs riser's been working for her so far today. Just a couple of Ks. Again, that pitch count getting worked up here in this inning, especially as of late. She's at 27, and the 70th pitch is slapped foul down the third base line.
I am very intrigued to see as this game progresses what the limit is on Pengel. Had that complete game against Lemoyne, but to your point, already at 70 pitches and only in the 3rd inning, we'll see how far she can go.
3-2 offering is belted to center. The ball's carrying today, and it carries enough for a 3-run bomb. Shayna Mishral with her 2nd home run at Skytop Stadium in the last 2 contests, and Niagara jumps out to a 3-0 lead in the 3rd. Jackie Pengel had 2 outs with nobody on and then 2 base knocks, and Mishral takes advantage, sending it back up the middle in the air. And with those sustained wins today in Syracuse, that one flies out fairly easily, just getting over the wall.
It went gone in a hurry too, Nico. Before we knew it, that ball just kept on going and was out of sight.
In the air again, this time a little under. Lopez there, and she makes the catch to end the inning. A bit under it for Brianna Delaney, but enough for Shayna Mishral with a 3-run homer to give the Purple Eagles a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 3rd.